John 8:22. Dicebant ergo Iudaei, numquid interficiet semet ipsum, quia dicit quo ego vado vos non potestis venire. Therefore the Jews were saying, is he going to kill himself? Because he says, where I am going, you all are not able to come. Perhaps the first thing we might want to do in this verse is, as we frequently do, just separate out quotations with punctuation from the rest of the verse. Now, half of this verse we want to note right away is just repeated verbatim from the previous verse. So if you'd like to go a little bit deeper into how this last clause works, and we had a little bit to say about quo here in the last verse, you can just check out the previous video. But focusing on the first part of what these Jewish leaders are saying, we might note, as we've had occasion to several times before, that numquid is just kind of an untranslatable question word, just indicating, hey, this is a question, and marking an utterance out as an interrogative. That's really all it does. So you don't even need to worry about translating it. And then we want to notice in interficiet, from the verb interficio, interficere, of the third conjugation, we've got a future tense marker in this E. And again, these are really easy to miss if you haven't trained yourself to look for them in the third and fourth conjugations, because you might be lulled into sort of a little bit of laziness by the fact that in the first and second conjugations, it's really easy to tell when you've got a future tense before your eyes. But with the third and fourth conjugations in which an E is inserted to indicate the future tense, it's easier to miss. So you've got to train yourself to notice those small details. It's very important. We might also note here the pronominal suffix met, which is a kind of intensifier. Now, the problem here is we don't really need this in English. Say the reflexive pronoun already corresponds to English himself. Met is kind of doubly indicating self, himself, self. And then we've also got ipsum, a still further intensifying pronoun here. So we've got kind of three different levels of intensification. But this is apparently just how people spoke and wrote in Latin on occasion, and it will suffice when producing an English translation just to say self one time. He will, or rather they're asking, will he kill himself? And then they kind of indicate with quia why they're asking that question, since after all, we might say, he is saying, and then they quote Jesus here, where I am going, you all are not able to come.